Hey y'all, happy Friday. I hope you all have some exciting weekend plans. This weekend, gonna be kind of mellow for us. We're just gonna hang at home, maybe do a little sourcing. But the topic I wanted to talk about on today's video is how in this business, you can never get complacent. You have to always be willing to grow, be willing to adapt, move with the punches. There's so many things about this business that, might be great one day and not the next. And so you have to be willing to change to stay profitable and have success. We're also going to pull some items today, starting with this sheep wall decor with little hooks on it. I saw this at an estate sale and it is absolutely gorgeous, hand painted. I paid $2 for it. It sold for $25.46. So when I first started reselling, I never would have given that thing a second look. Never would have paid attention to the craftsmanship of it and know that there's a market for it. But when I saw it maybe a month or two ago, I couldn't resist. I had to have it because I knew somebody was going to love it. And that's kind of what I mean by adapting, growing, changing. You have to pay attention to what's selling. You have to pay attention to what's trending. There's certain things I sell that I would have always liked, but some things never would have noticed. Now, this is something that I'm sure somebody's an expert on, but I'm not, and I didn't really want to try to become one. So when I found all these buttons for $1, I just bundled them all up. They sold for $15.26, but I'm sure if somebody wanted to resell them, they can make a ton of money parting them out. Now, I have learned that those slippers are never going to sell. Okay, it's just going to be a running joke every time I come to this box. Don't worry about it. And I'm sure one day they will sell. But right now we are looking for an ornament. Actually, we're looking for 2 ornaments. And it is going to be a pair of Santa Claus cross-stitch pieces in little plastic frames. Again, this is an item that when I first started reselling, I never would have picked up, but I've learned very quickly that handmade cross-stitched items actually do well. I paid 50 cents, 25 cents a piece for these, and they sold for $9.95. But the person who bought those also bought something else. This is an item I found at the bins, and it's a little Christmas nativity story set of magnets, and it's like new old stock, little gift item. I paid $1/4 by weight. They sold for $6.95. So that combined order was $16.90. Now here's a good example of adapting, because I grew up in the 80s. I loved the Care Bears, and so I can't resist a good, nice looking, good condition Care Bear when I find it. But these actually don't sell as well as they did, say, 2 years ago when I did first start back up into the reselling thing. But now they just kind of sit around until the right person comes along. But the good thing is I enjoy them, so I don't mind them hanging out. This little cupcake birthday bear, I paid $1 for. It sold for $16.96, and it is a Kenner original. Now we're heading back to our bookshelf, but you guys can see here, I've been doing pretty good, I think, recently with the price I can get cassettes at and finding, nice vintage ones people look for. So when I saw those little drawers, I had the black one already, but when I saw those yesterday at the thrift store for $2.99 a piece, I picked them up because it gave me space to store the ones that I haven't listed yet because I didn't have space to store them. So it works out well. Now we have a multiple item order going out, and this is the first item, and it is the American hymnal from the First Baptist Church. Early 20th century item here, although I don't see a specific date, but a nice vintage book in relatively good condition. I think it's really pretty. I love the way the old music books look. This was a 50-cent bins find, and it sold for $8.46. The second item that person bought, and that person being Dawn, who's actually my cousin. I didn't realize it until I went to pack these, that she was the one who purchased them, but it definitely caught my attention when I printed the label. So thank you for your purchase, Dawn, if you're watching, and hi, Aunt Deborah. I'll definitely say hi to you because I know you're watching. The second book she picked up was a find from that highway sale we went to just a couple weeks ago, and it is a David Copperfield from 1901 by Charles Dickens. It's got some really pretty illustrations in it. I paid up for this book. I found 2 books at that sale that I really liked, and they were $3 a piece, but I figured it was definitely worth it because It's a 1901 David Copperfield. It sold for $29.71. So thank you, Dawn, for your order of $38.17. I appreciate you, love you, and miss you. Hope to see you soon. Now this next item going out is pretty fun. You guys know I love my cans. I think they make great decor. This one isn't quite as old as some of the others, I think because it has a paper label on it, but this is a Café du Monde French roast coffee tin. And if you've never been to New Orleans, I highly recommend you check it out. It's a beautiful city, lots of history, really cool place to visit. But if you go, you have to go to Café du Monde and get some coffee and beignets. They are to die for. I paid $0.25 for this can at an estate sale. It sold for $11.01. Now, something I definitely never would have paid attention to before I started following reseller content is wrestling stuff. I don't know anything about it, wasn't into it as a kid. But when I did that private pick of the house that was being cleaned out a couple months ago, I found a bunch of wrestling figures, and this Hulk was part of that. So I got it for free, and I definitely picked up all the wrestling figures I saw there. This one sold for $12.71, and those have actually turned out to be quite profitable for me. Now, something I thought would be a cool pickup from early on in my reselling career was this Baywatch boat. I found it at the bins, and if something's cool and lightweight at the bins, I almost always pick it up to check out later. This only cost me maybe 10 cents, but it has been here forever. It finally sold for $5.95. Something that I've learned about in the last year or so is the value of new old stock items. How people are willing to pay a little bit more because something hasn't been unused. It's in its original packaging, so it's probably in good condition. And sometimes they just like the packaging itself, and that's the collectible. So when I found these ice cream doll heads at a thrift store, I paid about $3 for them. They sold for $21.95. I couldn't resist them when I saw them. I've also learned a lot about the collector's market for very kitschy and nostalgic cool travel items, including refrigerator magnets. These rubber magnets, I cannot keep them in stock. I listed another set just last night, and they sold before I fell asleep. I paid about $3 for all of them. They sold for $29.95. So if the price is right, I'm always gonna pick those up. I also love picking up playing cards. You guys saw me sell those Duckling cards the other day that were loose and out of the box. I drafted these Paris cards about the same time. Again, no box, and I listed them last night, and they sold overnight for $9.95. Only have about a quarter into them. Now, something that I'm having to learn about Pez dispensers are how the market has changed since I originally sold these many years ago. These football Pez aren't fetching quite the price they used to, but they're still pretty cool and people want them for their collection. This BYU football sold for $5.50. And another thing I'm learning and adapting is don't buy big stuff that's awkward and it's going to cost a lot to ship and take up a lot of space in your store if the profit really isn't worth it. So something like this Duncan Hines Echo pie tin, I probably wouldn't pick it up again, but I paid a quarter for it at an estate sale. It sold for $13.95, so still pretty good profit, but probably not worth the space and the trouble of packing it. Now, something I will always continue to purchase because I think they're cool and I like them are these vintage Band-Aid tins. This one actually sold while I was packing all the other orders, so you can see my table is clear here. One last little item to go out today. I don't know if people are using these for, hiding money or just decoration. Who knows why they want them, but I think they're cool, so somebody else thinks they're cool too. I paid a quarter for this tin at an estate sale. It sold for $8.46. So definitely not a bad day of sales for a weekday. I have $15.35 into all these items, and they sold for $232.18, which is 15 times our money, and hopefully a good start to the weekend. Hopefully lots more sales to come. Hope you guys enjoy your Saturday and Sunday, and we'll see you soon with another video of what's sold.